Will the battle between the Saiyans and the Sailor Guardians and the Z-Warriors draw the attention of some seriously unwanted guests? Let's find out. Hey guys, DB Right here, and I am back continuing with What If Sailor Moon Was in Dragon Ball Z? A fun little story that, in the Sailor Moon timeline, we decided to put this in with Season 3 of the classic 90s TV series. It was the final battle against Pharoah, the leader of the Death Busters, against Super Sailor Moon and Sailor Saturn. Except the ending went slightly different, with Pharoah opening up a rift within time and space, sucking all the Sailor Guardians in, and basically they're ending up on an alternate Earth. Pharoah was still destroyed, mind you, so don't worry, peace on Sailor Moon's Earth. They're not going to return to something crazy. So, yes, but that is how they got to the world of Dragon Ball Z. And it's been quite the ride from there, assisting with rescuing Gohan from his evil uncle Raditz, and now heading into the conclusion of the Saiyan arc with the battle against Vegeta, where after taking a ferocious Kamehameha Kaioken x4 and Sailor Moon, or rather Princess Serenity's ultimate attack, the same one she used against Queen Beryl, and Jupiter and Mars unfortunately being taken out by Vegeta, we are now continuing right where we've left off. Vegeta has thrown an energy bolt into the air and is now beginning his own transformation. If you haven't seen the last part, I do recommend you check out the first 3 parts if you haven't, if you're not up to date. And well, let's just say with Vegeta now all transformed and ready to go, another round with Kakarot, the Sailor Guardians, and the remaining Z-Warriors, which is Tien, Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin. And, well, even though Vegeta is now in his giant ape form, he's having a hard time pinning all these enemies down. They're like buzzing around like a bunch of flies, and we all know how annoying that can be, don't we? And, well, Sailor Mercury tries the same strategy that they used to cut off Nappa's tail, because remember, he transformed in the previous part, where when Sailor Moon hit him with a Moon Tiara action, resulting in blasting him with Blitzwave's energy. Go figure. Anyway, Mercury tries the exact same strategy on Vegeta. However, Vegeta sort of prepared for this. After all, he was paying attention with their battle against Nappa, so he just begins jumping in the air and spinning himself ferociously like a giant Saiyan tornado and blowing away all the mist. And well, once the mist clears up, Vegeta is then struck by a team attack of Sailor Uranus and Sailor Venus, who hit him with both a deep submerge and planet shockwave, whatever Uranus attack is called, and this hits Vegeta right in the face, one of them hitting him in the eye. Come on, we gotta have Vegeta losing his eye. That stuff's funny. Ah, my eye! Why does this happen to me every timeline? Well, with Vegeta now sort of reeling in pain a little bit, Uranus summons up her talisman again, which, remember, is the form of a dagger, to try cut off Vegeta's tail, but Vegeta more than sees this coming and actually wraps the tail around his body. You know how Saiyans do that and the tails sort of look like belts? So this meant that Uranus missed and that Vegeta's tail is a bit better protected. So Vegeta's not going to let this happen as easily as it befell Nappa. Damn it. If there was only some way we could get rid of that energy ball. However, this is when the rest of the Dragon Team make another startling discovery. Gohan's tail has grown back. And, I guess this is really where the Sailor Guardians picked up that Goku and Gohan are actually Saiyans as well. None of that was really mentioned in this timeline. I mean, they heard the name Kakarot, but they didn't really realize that Raditz was their evil brother. Remember, they came in towards the end of the fight. And, yeah, and with the battling, there was just too much battling going on, really, for them to have much dialogue going, oh, hey, did you know Kakarot is Raditz's brother, and he's a weakling Saiyan? No, so no one caught on to that, and, well, Gohan has stared at the moon. And you know what that means? Giant ape fight! And, well, even though Vegeta is much stronger than Gohan is in his giant ape form, Gohan is still managing to do some damage to Vegeta, getting quite a few hits in, including an elbow into his already damaged eye. Ah, not my eye again! And, well, this may be giving the Sailor Guardians and the rest of the Dragon Team just that opportunity they're looking for to really strike a blow against Vegeta, as Goku is now beginning to power up the Spirit Bomb. And, with, extra warriors there able to actually give Goku energy, this Spirit Bomb is quite the whopper, including energy from the Sailor Guardians. And, well, when Vegeta finally manages to get the kid off of him, he does see Kakarot in the distance powering up the Spirit Bomb. He does what he does in the original story, firing a Ki Blast and ultimately making Goku drop the Spirit Bomb. Him only managed to keep a fragment of the energy, but it's still stronger than what it was originally. However, it's now going to be hard for him to get the opportunity to use it because Vegeta is on the prowl again. However, this time around, Vegeta's tail has become unwrapped from his body without him noticing, thanks to the little tussle he had with Gohan, and Yajirobe sneaks up, cutting off his tail much like he does in the original. Running, hiding! And well, Vegeta may have lost his transformation, but he still has quite a bit of fight left in him, and the good guys are still being weakening. Goku especially after all that energy wasting in charging the Spirit Bomb. And needless to say, it's not really looking good for their heroes. Vegeta could very well take them all out if he gets the opportunity. However, the only thing that's really stopping Vegeta from doing so is the teamwork from the remaining Sailor Guardians. Even Uranus and Neptune are working in sync with the Sailor Guardians, because we're only just at that point in Sailor Moon's timeline where Uranus and Neptune accept the other Sailor Guardians and start working with them rather than against them. And, well, it is definitely keeping Vegeta more or less at bay, and, well, meanwhile, Gohan has then gotten up. Uh-oh, they forgot about Gohan. And he's just rampaging out of control, because remember, Gohan has no control of his Great Ape form at this point, and it takes basically Goku and Piccolo basically ringing Gohan in. The only voices he'd really recognize and really be able to really respond to. And of course seeing Uranus and Michiru, who are also training with him. So they're able to get through him a bit easily and turn him on Vegeta, which this is where things begin to go very downhill for Vegeta. Except he's does have a bit more energy than what he had at this point in this timeline, that he is able to hit Gohan with a lot of energy attacks and hurting him enough that he is able to cut off his tail in the original and avoid being, splattered by Gohan, which, as we know in the original timeline, Vegeta couldn't get away in time and he had to call and evacuate. So, pretty much now that Gohan is pretty much all passed out and out of the equation, Goku not in much better shape himself, but he is going to try and form another Spirit Bomb, and everyone else is just going to have to do their best to distract him. The Sailor Guardians and Z Warriors are trying to fight and give Vegeta everything that he can handle, but he is able to basically fight through a lot of them one by one. Just Vegeta, well, not Vegeta, just with everyone being tired and weakened. And unfortunately, they're just more weakened than Vegeta. However, this is where the last hope hits. Sailor Saturn comes in, her power is charging, and we get that, familiar song that's always sounded every time Sailor Saturn charges up. Na, 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 na. You know the one from the original show, and that is hypercharging Goku's Spirit Bomb, which is beginning to take from, some of the leftover energy the heroes got, and combined with what he already had before, and whatever left he could take from the planet, without killing everyone on the planet. And with Sailor Saturn's destructive power being added to the Spirit Bomb, it is quite the whopper, and he's able to fire it at Vegeta, hitting Vegeta directly, and now he's damaged to the point that Vegeta has no choice but to flee. It's either flee or die at this point. He's even in worse condition than what he was in the original timeline. He can really barely crawl. And just like the original, Krillin finds Yajirobe's sword, and he's thinking of taking him out. So is Tien and Piccolo. However, Goku does ask them to stop, and to everyone's surprise, the Sailor Guardians get in their way too from taking out Vegeta. He's already beaten. He's no longer a threat. And, well, he has failed misery, and Vegeta's gonna have to live with that. Which, let's face it, that's more of a punishment for Vegeta than killing him. He'll have to suffer knowing that he was beaten by a bunch of girls and a bunch of weaklings. Vegeta's pride is not going to live this down. And so, Vegeta gets to his spaceport and he's all, I'll be back to finish you, blah blah, this ain't over, flies off like he does in the original. And, well, I guess thanks to the Sailor Guardians, a lot more of the members of the Dragon Team survived this part around. We still lost some people though. We lost Sailor Jupiter and Mars, as well as Yamcha and Chaozu. But hey, there's always Dragon Balls, so they can bring them back, right? Now, it's going to be a year's wait until the Earth Dragon Balls, but they remember the conversation earlier about Piccolo being a Namekian, and that it's possible that the people of Namek have Dragon Balls as well. Perhaps they can go there and maybe more or less borrow them? And, perhaps, the Dragon Balls will be able to wish back their fallen friends. the Sailor Guardians, and Chaozu and Yamcha. And so, basically, it was now time for them to basically regroup, heal up their wounds, which, as we know, Sailor Guardians, they seem to have this crazy healing factor. They're up and walking about, no problem the next day. Well, everyone else is still wearing bandages for a couple of weeks, while Bulma is figuring out the Kami's spaceship. Not only with Mr. Popo's assistance and even Kami's assistance this time, because remember, he ain't dead in this timeline. He can just... Bulma also has Army Misono. Is it Misono? Something like that. Sailor Mercury's real name. Yeah, Army Misono, helping out the spaceship, and she is just fascinated by all this advanced technology that this Earth has, and is taking the opportunity to study up, much like you would imagine. And, well, Goku is trying to see if anyone is actually worthy to ride the flying Nimbus Cloud. Out of the Sailor Guardian, just something fun. Uranus is trying to find a way to go faster than what the hover car currently do, so the flying Nimbus was it. Unfortunately, both Uranus and Neptune cannot ride that cloud. They're not exactly as pure as the rest of the Sailor Guardians, and considering that Uranus and Mitru have mentioned in the past that their hands are dirty, it's fitting that they wouldn't actually be able to ride the Nimbus Cloud. And, well, Uranus had to ask how Goku was brought back in the first place, because they did witness his death at the hands of Piccolo with the special beam cannon through Raditz and Goku, and, well, it was proof that the Dragon Balls actually work, and that, yes, it's possible these Dragon Balls could send the Sailor Guardians back to their home where they belong. Unfortunately, they're going to have to wait at least a year before they can use these ones, so it's off to Namek. Not to mention, they're going to need those Dragon Balls to wish back their fallen comrades. And, well, meanwhile, Vegeta has since landed at Frieza Station. He's getting all healed up. And, of course, Frieza has overheard the conversation between the Saiyans, the Sailor Guardians, or any of the dialogue that was used, and they are aware that Namek has Dragon Balls, and also Frieza has decided Earth is definitely going to be a future target, because, you know, they have Dragon Balls too, and thanks to the Sailor Guardians' presence, they know there's magic on Earth as well, magic and power and all sorts of things like that, which means Earth is now ripe for the taken for the Frieza Force, and that there are powerful warriors down there they could recruit to the Frieza Force, and the humans could make a good enslavement force. So this battle has drawn the attention of some very unwanted guests, but luckily for Earth right now, Frieza is sort of finishing up things on another planet at the moment. Not Namek, so yeah, he's not on his way to Namek, at least not at this point, but he has asked that a group of his men who aren't with him at the moment to go on ahead and scout it out. And meanwhile, Vegeta is taking the bolter and also on his way to Namek to get the Dragon Balls as well. And, well, needless to say, the party going to planet Namek at this point are Bulma, Gohan, Piccolo, Krillin, and the Sailor Guardians. They're all going with Bulma on Kami's ship, heading to Earth. It is a little crammed there, especially with all the junk that Chi-Chi made Gohan bring, all those school books. But hey, plenty of studying material for Army, and she can definitely help Gohan out, who's very impressed with the boy and the way he studies. So, needless to say, Army and Gohan are becoming quick friends. You say, "Oh my god, it's a space trip and you're here studying. I don't want to study." As you know, Army has a habit of making the other Sailor Guardians study, which means we got Usagi bowling for a couple of months to Planet Namek. There's no fake Planet Namek. Moving on. So, with that moving on, I think that's actually where we'll actually leave things right now, because I've actually stretched this video quite a bit. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. How are the Sailor Guardians going to make a difference in the Frieza saga? Considering, well, Frieza's already going to be late to the party because he's dealing with things on another planet right now. And, with Vegeta also heading to Namek, let's just say the race is on. Who will be first to gather the Dragon Balls on Namek and get their wish? All this and more next time as we continue this What If. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your thoughts in the comments on this What If. Alright, catch you later.